Good afternoon to one and all listening. My name is Dr. Swarna Bharti. I work as an assistant professor of English at the Indian Institute of Teacher Education, Gandhinagar. The conference theme that I have chosen is Innovative Approaches to English Teaching and Learning, and the title of my paper is Communicative Grammar Teaching, a Paradigm Shift. Allow me to share my PowerPoint presentation here. For this paper, I was inspired by Dinah Larson Freeman's 2003 book, Teaching Language from Grammar to Grammaring. And apart from that, I have also taken ideas from very famous ELT experts, David Noonan, as well as Jane and Dave Willis. Now, as you can see on my slide here, the moment we talk about grammar, normally the reactions that we get from teachers is that it is very monotonous to teach, and the reaction from the students is that grammar learning is very boring. But then what Dinah Larson Freeman suggests in her book is that it can be changed. The whole idea of boring and monotone can be changed. And if we apply communicative language teaching to grammar, it can be made dynamic to understand. It can be taught along with the remaining 4 skills, that is the LSRW skills. It can be meaning-based and it can be fun. Because of paucity of time, I would like to quickly move on. The communicative language teaching is normally used to teach the 4 language skills, that is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And what Dinah Larson Freeman suggests in her book is that grammar also should be considered as a 5th skill, and that is what she terms as grammaring. And she defines grammaring as, I quote, "Grammaring is one of the dynamic linguistic processes of pattern formation in language, which can be used by humans for making meaning in context appropriate ways." So what she means is that grammaring is a concept wherein we can treat grammar as a 5th skill along with the LSRW skills. Apart from that, what she also suggests is that instead of teaching grammar in the conventional approach, which is inductive, we should rather teach, that is inductive as in we first make a presentation, then we ask the students to produce, and there is a lot of practice that is given to the students, as a result of which they memorize the rules. But the end product is normally, it is seen that the students are unable to apply those rules in real life situations. So in a way, you can say that the triple P model is a failure. It's an inductive approach and it is a failure. So instead, what she suggests is using communicative language teaching and applying communicative language teaching to grammar, to teach grammar, and considering grammar as one of the 5th skills. A focus can be made on teaching all 3 simultaneously, that is the form, content, and use of language in the class. By this way, the students not only enjoy learning grammar, but also it becomes a fun way of learning. So what she suggests, Dinah Larson Freeman suggests, is that instead of teaching grammar for grammar's sake, it would be better to use CLT to teach or focus on the form. That is wherein the teacher acts as a facilitator by creating situations which enables communication and the use of target grammar structures. So instead of teaching grammar, as Noonan points out, I would like to quote, as a step-by-step building block fashion, a linear model, it should be taught as a U curve. Now, this is something that is suggested by Dinah Larson Freeman. That is, grammar should be taught as a U curve, where the teacher keeps referring to the form used in the target language repeatedly, and the teacher addresses the 3 dimensions of grammar as shown here on the PowerPoint presentation slide, that is form, content, and use. Now, moving to the task-based learning. Another idea that I would like to apply along with communicative language teaching to teaching grammar is the task-based learning. I have a comparative diagram over here of task-based learning and the PPP, traditional PPP model, which is used to teach grammar. On a comparison, what we find is that the task-based learning model gives more exposure and scope to the learners to use the target language with the restricted intrusion of the teacher, which means that it is more of a learner-centered class rather than a teacher-centered class. And it also focuses more on implicit learning with opportunities on intentional learning. So TBLT is something that has been suggested by David Noonan also, and along with Jane Willis also. And I have here on my slide the advantages of using the TBLT model as suggested by Jane Willis. To give a gist of it, what Jane Willis focuses on is that the task-based language teaching method or approach to grammar focuses more on meaning and allows the students to use the target language the way they use their L1. That is, the way a child acquires their L1 and they use the language naturally. They don't learn grammar first, they first learn the meaning and they learn to use the language in their own way. Similarly, the target language also should be taught in the classroom in the way the L1 is acquired, and then the teacher can point out to the grammar rules deductively, and in this method it helps the retention of language forms for the students. Now, how this can be done in the classroom, that is how task-based language learning can be used to teach grammar in the classroom, is by integrating all the skills, that is like all the LSRW skills can be integrated along with grammar teaching, wherein the focus is on communication in the target language, where the teacher supplements, adapts, rejects, and substitutes. That's the short form SARS. That is supplements wherever additional activities or authentic materials are required apart from the textbooks, prescribed textbooks or reference books in the curriculum. Adapting new tasks and activities according to the needs of the learners and their language competencies. Rejecting tasks or activities or lessons in the curriculum which do not suit to the or cater to the needs of the students, not completely rejecting the lessons, but adding something new, a new dimension or a new rule that can be taught, that is a new grammar rule that can be taught, and sometimes substituting activities already suggested in the curriculum with something else so that it gives a scope to the learners to learn something new. Now here on my screen, I have a TBLT framework as suggested by Jane and Dave Willis in their book, Doing Task-Based Teaching, 2007, published in 2007. I have it on these two slides. Now this is the framework I have used, I have incorporated in my teaching. And the example that I have given here is of teaching negotiation skills. I teach the commerce undergraduate students, and at the second year level, one of the topics that my students have is negotiation skills. I first teach them the stepwise procedure of negotiating, and then they watch a video or they watch a kind of real life situation where students enact something in front of a well-practiced. They are given a script and the students practice it for a few days in front of me, and they enact it in front of the remaining class. A set of students enact and the remaining class watches them. So this serves as an example. Ideally, I use a video clipping for them to watch and understand what kind of language is used and how it is used and how negotiation takes place in a stepwise procedure. And then the classroom is divided. Now again, my classroom is limited to, I ideally have 20 to 30 students in each classroom. So it is ideal for using the task-based language teaching approach. So I divide the students into groups of 4, wherein they work in pairs and they are given situations where they have to discuss and negotiate amongst themselves. They have to take up roles. They have to discuss how they are going to negotiate and approach to a win-win situation. And then they are supposed to write down a dialogue that took place between them in the language that they used. And once they finish writing down, they are asked to make presentation in front of the class. And when they are making presentation, I as a teacher give them a feedback on the kind of language they have used. Now, normally in negotiation skills, a lot of modals are used. As in modals are used to express ability, to seek permission, to express a possibility, or to express an obligation or belief, or to give advice, or to request something. And also the if sentences are used a lot while negotiating. So I point out to these modals which have been used by them in their language. If there are any errors, I correct them in a very friendly manner, in a conversational style. There is a lot of peer correction also which is done in the class, as a result of which it is a happy learning experience for the students. Thank you very much for listening. That's all in my presentation for today.